Well, welcome to System Analysis and Design. I'm Emmett Gray. I'm going to be your instructor for this course. So, to just jump right on in, this is just going to be a quick look at the syllabus and some introductory slides, and this will get you on your way. So, I've posted the syllabus out on Blackboard, and so let's just kind of go through it a little bit. There's nothing really spectacular in there. Yes, I'm your instructor. I'm an adjunct instructor, so that means I don't really have an office or a phone at the campus. I work out of my home. I am teaching an honest-to-God face-to-face course this semester, so if you do want to come see me, you can. It's between about 1:30 and 2 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll be in room 207. Prepping for another class. So yes, this is a 100% online course. Yep. Course objectives, you can read that on your own. Yes, there is a textbook. It's required. There's two versions of the textbook. There's one that comes with a little course mate access card and one that doesn't. And since this is the summer semester and things are going to be a little tight, I'm not going to spend much time doing the type of projects that require that little card, so you can use either one of the textbooks. I assume there's a difference in price. I haven't really checked. Yes, there are electronic versions of the book that are available. Okay, let's just screw on through some more good stuff. So yes, there's going to be two exams, a midterm and a final. They're not comprehensive, so you know the first 6 chapters and then the last 6 chapters. There'll be 2 papers. Now, don't panic, these papers are tiny. I'm asking for where the body of the paper is no more than 4 double-spaced pages. Now, come on, 4 double-spaced pages? You could do that in your sleep. There will be 3 homework assignments where I'm asking you to do some things. Okay. And lastly, of course, class participation. Every week I'm going to ask you to answer some questions in your journal. Now, your journal is a private conversation between you and I. Also end up to participate periodically in some discussion forums. And these are public, where everyone gets to participate. So, yes, you can use the calculations to figure out what kind of grade you're going to get based upon the scores. Yes, we are going to have papers that are due in APA format. I'm going to do an entire another video just talking about APA alone, so I'm going to hold off for the comment on that at this point. So I have an entire rubric on how I'm going to grade those things, and again, I'll deal with that in another paper just real soon. Whenever you submit something to me, almost everything you submit is going to be using this particular file format, where I want your name and then the course and then some sort of an indicator of what it is that you're turning in, like assignment 1 or paper 1 or something like that. So this is the file naming convention you're going to use for submitting everything. Since this is an online course, everything is going to be submitted via Blackboard. There's no other way of getting things to me. So this is kind of a summary. Yes, there's 2 exams, 2 papers, 3 assignments. This is how it kind of all lines up. This is the way I grade. Basically, if the grade starts with a 1 or a 100 or a 9, you get an A. If it starts with an 8, starts with a 7, starts with a 6, etc. It's pretty straightforward. There's no real requirement for any real... You just need a machine that you can connect to the internet. I assume practically any device will do. Here's a copy of the schedule. This is an 8-week course, which means we are cramming an awful lot of stuff into 8 weeks. Now, typically this would have been like a 16-week course, where things are kind of spread out a little bit more, but unfortunately, it's an 8-week course and things are going to be kind of crammed. I did cut you a little bit of slack on the links of the papers and things of that nature, and the links of the exams to kind of give you a little bit of a break. All assignments are essentially due at midnight, meaning 11:59 on Sunday. So the way it works is I'll post things out and they'll show up at Monday morning, and then you have the entire week to do them. That's typically the way it works. Here's just the university calendar for everything else that's going on. Oh, that's about it. There's not much in here. Well, there's some stuff in here. Obviously, you're responsible for everything, whether you're here or not. You're supposed to submit it. There's a 5%. Hang on a second. I have a kitty that's demanding some attention. Now, this is Little Orphan Annie, and you probably will see her from time to time on future videos. Get on the other way, little one. Yes, there's going to be a 5% penalty per day if you are late. So that's kind of expensive. Cool thing about it is you can submit papers multiple times. You can submit homework assignments multiple times, even after I've graded them. I really do want you to pay attention to the feedback that I provide on papers and homework assignments and those kind of things. And so I've been known to throw in a few Easter eggs or two, where I'll put a comment in some feedback that says something like, the first 5 people that respond to this gets an extra 5 points added to their grade, something like that. Yes, I do want you to read feedback. So that's essentially the syllabus. I do spend some time go through it. I've got a PowerPoint presentation which covers almost the same topics, but so we'll go through this. I don't particularly like using PowerPoint for teaching, so this may actually be the last time you see me use PowerPoint. So here goes. Here we are, System Analysis and Design. And yep, this is an online course. There's a whole list of prerequisites. We're going to cover all 12 chapters in the book. I will warn you that about 20% of the material that's going to show up on these tests do not come from the book. It comes from the lecture. So that means if you don't pay attention, don't take notes, don't be surprised if you don't do well. If you don't watch the videos, don't pay note, you probably will make about an 80, because 20% of the material is going to come from outside the book. Now, little kitty, I'm in the middle of doing a video. Like, come on, give me a break. So yes, this is an 8-week course, and of course we're using an awful lot of stuff in Blackboard. So, what are your expectations? Yep, you're going to learn an awful lot about system design. Yeah, and you're going to apply this in some practice scenarios, and you are going to write some research papers, which we'll talk about a bit later. You will not need to be, a system design IT guru, and it's not my task to make you a system design IT guru. So following along that, this is a little diagram that I show almost all my classes, and it basically goes like this. Learning is kind of a multifaceted kind of thing. There's these knowledge, skills and abilities. Skills are things that are kind of mechanical. It takes repetition. You try it over and over and over, and you get better at it. For example, the first time I go to a rifle range, as an example, and I'm not going to hit the bullseye every single time, because that's just not the way it works. After a great deal of practice, I'll get better and better and better at it. Abilities, when I go out to the rifle range, there's going to be some people that are just going to be naturally better at this than I am. It's just going to happen. And quite frankly, there's not a dang thing I can do about it. And as an instructor, there's not a dang thing I can do about it. So, abilities are things that you bring to the table, and I'm not going to be able to influence it that much. Skills are things you're going to get through a great deal of repetition, and quite frankly, you're not going to have that much repetition in this class. So we're going to concentrate on the knowledge part, which is the background concepts and all the kind of things that you need to know as a basis for helping you with the other 2 parts of this equation. I'm going to provide you lots of knowledge so you can use your skills and abilities to be a better person. So yes, we're all about knowledge. Now, talking about knowledge, I am really, really strongly convinced that the way to teach you to do things is the what versus why. Skills are kind of more like a what thing. Let's say you're in the middle of doing a project and you just flat can't remember how to do something. You go, wait a minute, I forgot how to do... And so the logical thing would be, you pop open Google and you do a search for it. And that works fairly well for an awful lot of scenarios. And you can look up on online resources, help files. So if you don't know what to do, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The problem happens is if you don't know why you're doing something. You're heading down a path and you have no idea why you're doing what you're doing. You're more than likely going to end up with a heck of a lot more problems than if you had a problem with a what scenario. So I want you to know why you're doing things, why you choose one method over another, and what are the consequences if I choose them wrong. I used to do tech support on kind of on like a volunteer basis through the web, and some people would ask these incredibly bizarre questions like, well, how do I do this, and this? And you can tell they're so focused on how to accomplish this one task that they've actually lost sight of what it is they're trying to do. And quite literally, I would ask them this. This is my favorite question I would ask them. I would ask them, what problem are you trying to solve that led you to believe that that was the answer? That sounds a little strange when you think about it, but what I'm really asking you is, how did you get to this point? Why are you down that road? Why are you attempting to solve this problem this way? If you describe to me what the problem is, I can help you with the why part. So yes, I'm very much into why versus what. And when it comes to test questions, I guarantee you we're going to have a problem. I'm going to ask you a why kind of question, and you're probably going to end up giving me a what kind of an answer. And I mean, for example, this is a completely fictitious question, but I'll say, why is the sky blue? And you would answer, the sky is a light colored blue. And I go, yeah, okay, great, but that's not what I asked you. So I am going to be asking you lots of why questions. So be on the lookout for why. So we've covered this. There are going to be 2 exams. I am going to spend an entire lecture week prepping you for these exams. I'm actually going to give you the list of questions. Well, not exactly. I'm going to give you the list of topics that are going to appear in these tests. I'm going to go through them. Basically, I'm going to help you study for these exams. Shouldn't be difficult. 2 papers. I mentioned these are short papers. The body of the paper is 4 double-spaced pages. Come on. Some homework assignments. These are really short. Again, everything is due at midnight on Sunday. So the way I've designed this is about 1/3 of the grade comes from each one of these things. 1/3 from exams, 1/3 from papers, 1/3 from assignments, with a little bit of class participation thrown in. And I will tell you that the papers and the assignments you can submit over and over again. Now think about that a minute. Let's say, for example, that you submitted a paper. And let's say, I don't know, you made a 70 on the paper. And so I send you a note back saying, you need to fix this, this, and this. You can resubmit the next day. And I'm not going to hold it against you. I mean, you'll probably get a penalty for being late. But you could bring that 70 up to a 95 with no trouble at all. You might even have to go through it multiple iterations. You might get a 70 the first time and maybe an 85 the next time, and you keep going. Eventually, of course, the penalty for being late will kind of match. But essentially, there's practically no excuse for making less than like a 90 on these assignments and papers. Think about that. So exams are ones that you take it one time and you're done. But assignments and papers, I'm trying desperately to help you guys make good grades, and this is kind of the way I'm doing it. Okay, I usually break these videos into 15-minute chunks, mainly because YouTube has a file size limit for high-def videos, but it's probably the extent of your attention span, and it provides you a pee break. So I'm going to stop for just a second, and we'll pick this up in just a few.